Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Buffett. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters cast. Got an awesome game with a couple of players that we haven't really cast too much before. So let's start off checking it out. Down the bottom left side of the map is going to be Mr. Bbyong. He is 21 years old from South Korea and plays for the CJ team, I do believe. At least it's what his Wikipedia article says. I assume he's still playing for that team, but it's a bit hard to tell because he doesn't have the tag there. But regardless, he's he's pretty good. I think we actually have cast a couple of games from him in the past, but not anything relatively recently. So still a pretty good player, and one that we have definitely not cast before is going to be Mr. trOt. He is 24 years old from South Korea and also plays for the CJ team, according to this. So pretty awesome stuff. And yeah, going to be seeing exactly how well he does. He's currently got a rally point in the wrong direction, which is unfortunate. And Mr. Bbyong, where's his rally point at? In the wrong direction as well. So a bit unfortunate for both players, but looks like Mr. Bbyong going to get the early scout off over in this direction. And trOt, he's not going to see that SCV until it comes up the ramp, so we will no longer be able to tell what direction the SCV actually came from, which means it's not going to get him any closer to figuring out where exactly Bbyong's base is. But Bbyong has a definite idea of where Mr. trOt's base is right now. He's going to be seeing the Reaper up, leaving the SCV up there. Maybe, I don't know, some sort of a bunker play. Get a bunker out the front there, put a couple of Reapers in there. Could be quite annoying at the first part of the game, just to sort of block off early expansion, all that sort of stuff. SCV going in there, not really paying attention, does lose a worker because of that, so much for the bunker play. Reaper is going to survive though, and if trOt had any plans of getting an early expansion, it's going to be a little bit hard for him to do that. Where is the second Reaper? It's got to be almost here. There it comes, just coming across here, and we've actually got a third Reaper coming down as well. He's continuing to build a ton of Reapers in this early game. Mr. trOt is getting at a couple of Hellions though, going for a Starport as well, or Stargate, whichever one this is called. Yes, Starport, I think. So yeah, if he plays the Hellions right, he should be okay, because of course Hellions do quite a lot of damage to the Reapers, and Reapers, I don't know, man, they do okay versus the Hellions, but generally the Hellions will be able to do a good place. Just very nice job actually, the Reapers just sort of ducked behind that that bush there, so the Hellions didn't get the full range off. Quite a nice play, but the Hellions eventually ran through it and did manage to kill him, so great job there. Mr. trOt getting the getting the Marines out, continue to get the Hellions out, and now he does have the Banshee play coming on out, so should be able to do quite a bit of damage. Mr. Bbyong, he's got his expansion coming out over there, which is quite cool. I didn't actually realize this map has the third base over there, but it does. This is an incredible map. I don't think really cast too much on this. I remember a map that was this big being this awesome, but I don't remember it having the third base, so maybe I'm thinking of something else. In fact, I believe I am. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But anyway, it's a very impressive map nonetheless, and this Reaper just absolutely exploded, so a lot of stuff there. We do have the Banshee finally coming out. Man, I'm so sleepy. But yes, Banshee coming out, second Banshee coming out, Banshee cloaking just about to finish, and Mr. Bbyong not been slacking around. He has got a bunch of Marines, has actually got a missile turret halfway done, so that should be up by the time the Banshee gets into position. And there we go, it's actually got another missile turret there, so very nicely played there. That Banshee not going to be all that good. This barracks could get taken out, but for now, I think Mr. Bbyong is going to be fine. He's cut with quite a bit of Hellions there, actually, and the Marines are in danger of getting taken out. A little bit at a time. They're going to deal with the Banshee, and they're going to deal with the Hellions, and the Hellions have a much larger range than the Marines do, so it's very hard for the Marines to snipe these guys out. Needs a Marauder was my thought that I was about to say, and there we go, Marauder comes out, and suddenly the Hellions are in a whole lot of trouble. Just going to be able to save that, so great job. Where's his... There we go, there's the third missile turret down there, so quite able to deal with the Banshee harass very early on. Great job there by Mr. Bbyong, and now does have the advantage at this point. Does have it. Oh, very nice play on the bench. He just managed to get the edge of that. Might be able to take out a reactor there, so it's pretty nice. He should be able to kill this. I don't know. Actually get some workers on the edge of this. Can't go too close because of the missile turret. He goes a little bit too close. Does get shot a few times, but I think his safest bet at the moment is probably just to go for this reactor because there's really not much else he can do right here. And yes, meanwhile we do have a bunch of forces coming over here. A bunch of Marines and Marauders. And Banshee continuing to prove itself a pain in the ass. Does get shot a couple of times. Is out of energy, but not many Marines available to shoot at it. Just a couple here, and the Banshee should be able to take care of these fairly easily. Although this Banshee getting very, very close to getting them down, and a couple more Marines coming out should be enough to see that Banshee off. And Mr. Bbyong, is he going to go all the way out here and then just back off? Yes, and it turns out it's a good idea because Mr. trOt has actually got quite a fair amount of forces over here. There's a couple of tanks, very, very decent amount of Marines over there, and a Raven. So really, really good job, Mr. Bbyong, going for the starport. Almost certainly just going to be plonking a reactor over onto that. And yeah, just going for some stuff. Although Bbyong has the worker advantage, and he's continuing to build workers. No, not at the moment, but he probably should. There we go, 2 more. So he's got the worker advantage, and trOt does have some sort of army advantage, I think. Not in terms of Marine numbers, but he's got the tech advantage. He's got the Banshees, he's got a few tanks, and the tanks are going to be very, very nice. So Bbyong, man, he's got the worker advantage, but he's going to need to do something about those tanks. Maybe get a large amount of Marauders. Oh man, I am so sleepy. I should not be casting this late into the night. There we go, stimming in. Does see the Banshees, actually. It must have been within a range of this reactor, I guess. It's the only way I could see it. On a Marine steady behind there, he will be able to scout all 3 of those tanks if Bbyong was paying attention. Oh, there he goes. Goes for a scan there. Oh, the tank's in range though, and just managed to avoid getting shot by those tanks. So Mr. Bbyong, what is he going to be able to do about these tanks, man? He's getting some medevacs out. So drop action, dropping his forces on top of the tanks, definitely going to be a good option. He's already got 2 medevacs. 2 more will make that even better. He could drop his full force almost directly on top of the tanks. And that will be very, very devastating. So trOt may be guessing that that's what's going to be happening, is going to be pulling back right now. Just sort of playing it safe. And I mean, he's not in a terrible position right now. He's got his second base up. He's getting up the worker numbers, and he's already got the tank tech out there, so he just needs to continue building tanks. He's in a great position. And that tank did just get destroyed, and here we go. The medevac's coming across over into this base. There is a bunch of Vikings over here. Going to be doing quite a lot of damage to the medevac, so this is going to be a one-way journey. And the tank in there, there's another tank in as well. Bbyong going to be taking a lot of damage here. Maybe able to take out the tank, maybe the other one, but he's taking so much damage. Both of his medevacs going down. All of his Marines are going to go down. Didn't even get the second tank, so that was a bit of a suicide run right there, and has greatly weakened Bbyong just right there. I mean, he's still got a ton of forces. 34 Marines is a very, very decent amount, and actually trOt needs to start building a lot more Marines because he's starting to run behind on the Marine numbers, and you need Marines. They're the glue that hold every other force together. And here we go. We've got a Marine battle going on here. Bbyong moving up with a ton of forces, and here we go. Here we see trOt, not enough Marines to provide the filler for his tank forces. He's building all tanks and all Hellions, but with Marauders in Bbyong's army, he just went through and just absolutely owned. And I don't know if trOt was planning to go. It looks like he was full mech. Look at this full mech army. It just didn't work out. Maybe Hellbats would have been the key there to sending off this Marine army, because the tanks didn't have a buffer zone. You need a buffer zone for your tanks, and I mean Hellions or Hellbats are the way to go, and I think he needed Hellbats at this stage of the game. There were just too many Marines for Hellions to survive all that long, but it did not happen. Everything went down, and now trOt is going to be paying the price. There are more Marines continuously streaming in. Bbyong is a macro crazy person at this point in the game. Yeah, 8 Marines at this point in the game is very, very decent. Continually producing him, getting a third base up as well, so he's definitely getting well into it. Doing a great job with the workers as well. 46 at the 15-minute mark is nothing spectacular, but it's enough to get the job done. It's definitely enough to get the job done. And trOt, man, maybe, I don't know, man. I mean, it was good. I mean, Mech, maybe he could have made it work. But definitely, he needed to get those Hellbats out. He definitely needed to get that buffer zone in front of his tanks. He didn't have nearly enough to deal with that stuff. He had a lot of tanks, but nothing to protect him. And everything just went down from there. So, unfortunate. A small gap in his defense, but a gap that was very, very successfully exploited by Bbyong to take out the victory. So, great job there. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this game. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.